And they were considered such a threat to Mesopotamia that the king of Ur in the year 2000 BC or thereabouts, a guy named Shushin, built a wall 170 miles long between the Tigris River and the Euphrates River to keep out the Amorites. But it didn't work. The Amorites got around the wall, and by the time of Abram and his call, the Amorites were in control of all of those kingdoms from Babylon all the way over to Canaan. Now, eventually, around 1600 BC, they finally got pushed out by the Kassites, the Elamites, people coming down from the mountains and coming from the east. They shoved them back. But there were forbidden religious practices that were ascribed to the Amorites. One of the most notorious tribes of the Amorites, they had different tribes, just like the people of Israel had different tribes, Judah, Simeon, Issachar, so on. The Amorites had a tribe called the Suteans. They think, scholars do, that this word Sutean means son of Seth, son of Adam. I've got a different theory, but I'm having a scholar check it out before I go public with it, so hurry up, Mike, I want your answer. The Suteans were regarded by the Sumerians as lawless and violent mercenaries who had to be kept out. Again, that 170-mile wall stretching between the rivers. But the Suteans are mentioned in the Bible. There's a prophecy against the Suteans. Remember Balaam, the one whose donkey talked to him? Hired by the king of Moab to give a prophecy against Israel, but he could only bless Israel? But in that prophecy, Numbers 24, verse 7, I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. That's a messianic prophecy. It shall crush the forehead of Moab and break down all the sons of Sheth, the Suteans, sons of Sheth. Now, the Akkadian word for Suteans was Shutu. The Egyptian word for Shutu was Shazu. These evil, lawless, violent mercenaries who were engaging all kind of evil stuff were the ones that King Ramses the Great's people were beating up because they were spying for the enemy, the Hittites. The Babylonian Empire, this is a point that needs to be emphasized. The Babylonian Empire, as we think of it, was founded in 1894 BC or thereabouts by the Amorites. So when we think of the evil of Babylon, which has become a byword for spiritual, supernatural evil, down to the days of the apostles, where John used Babylon, Mystery Babylon the Great, as a symbol of the one world occult religion of the end times, that was founded by the Amorites. These guys. And what does it have to do with the Amorites in Canaan circa 1400 BC, when Joshua was coming to the land? Everything. Remember the dimensions of Og's bed? I mean, here you've got like a military record Moses has written down in the Bible. And he takes time out to say, oh, by the way, Og of Bashan, his bed was 13.6 by 6 foot. Not coincidentally, those dimensions match exactly the dimensions of a cultic bed located in a ziggurat in Babylon called the Etemenanki, the house of heaven and earth, temple of the foundation of heaven and earth. The Etemenanki was the home, the temple of the chief Babylonian god Marduk. This bed was the place where every year on New Year, as part of their New Year festival, Marduk and his consort, the goddess Zarpanatu, would descend and have ritual lovemaking to bless the land for the coming year. Moses was tying this ritual to Og of Bashan, the king of the Amorites, from the Amorite kingdom of Babylon. Now here's another thing, and this just shows how wickedly clever the Hebrews are. They love a good pun. Even in the 16th, 15th century BC, they loved a good pun. The Sumerian name for Amorite, as I mentioned before, is Martu. Okay? The Sumerian name for Marduk, the god of the Amorites, is Amar Utu. It's a pun. Moses was making a point that would have been familiar to everybody in the ancient Near East in the 15th century BC. Og, the king of the Rephaim, last of the Rephaim, king of the Amorites, he's one of these guys that does these ritual practices that the Lord has absolutely forbidden. Og was practicing the sin of the Babylonians. The iniquity of the Amorites was the iniquity of Babylon.